What's up, spooky buttercups? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the Spooky Scary Skeleton Readathon weekly update number 1. All of these weekly updates regarding the Readathon will always be posted on Fridays. So this is the first one. We're very excited. I just want to get some announcements and shout outs and info to share with you all first, and then we're going to go into just an overview of the 2 books I finished and the 1 book that I'm currently reading. Yeah, I am already, no, not halfway. If I was reading book 4, whichever book I chose, then it would be halfway. I'm kind of sort of halfway. Anyway, I just want to shout out some YouTubers participating, and they're going to be tagged down below. So if you want to see participants and hang out with them and chit chat with them, please do so. And if I miss anyone, please tell me in the comments so I can tell you in the next video for week 2. I know for sure these people are joining in. Bad is Red 2, The Secret of Nim, Emma Bennett, Kat, Cobalt Dragon, Stuart, Read More Books, Chris and Tad. Thank you all so much for joining. And then the other participants that don't have YouTube or Instagram or anything like that, Patrick, Amie, and Erica. Thank you. I hope to see you all in the comments. Where are you with the prompts? Which prompt and which book? Or multiple books. Yes, I'm on book 3, so I should just say, how many books? 1 book? You're on book 5? I don't even know. You're gonna beat me if you're already on book 5. I finished A Secret History of Witches. That is the prompt for read a book with a witch as the main character. And okay, I started this a week before, so the last week of September, and I finished it on October 1st. It counts. Thank you. I made the rules, so this is how we're gonna go. I'm glad that I did because it took a week, and that would have eaten up a week in October, and then I would basically be behind because this is nearly 500 pages, the font a little small. And so in this one, we follow a French Romani family. They're all women and they are witches, and it's a family saga. I kind of sort of knew that going in, but I gave it 3 stars because it's basically just the same story over and over again. I was just reading halfway through just to see how the 1930s, 40s was going to play out, or like even just 1901, because even in the first chapter, which is 1860s, actually, let's just see. It's not like way back in the day. Okay, 1834. Yeah, if you're in a very small town, village, you might be thrown off a cliff if people thought that you were a witch. Maybe. But when you get to the 20th century, no one's throwing you off a cliff, no one's hanging you or burning you for witchcraft. But what's like the issue going on? Because throughout this whole book, the theme is don't trust anyone, especially men, because they're going to kill you because you're a witch. Okay. Except that there were also men that were tried and hung as witches, and there were a lot of women that were pointing the finger at other women. So it's not 100% men's fault. Did they push it? Yes, they did. But let's not say it's 100% men's fault. Also, because there are men that are French Romani in this family, so they don't throw the woman off the cliff. They could have. You just go boop, off the cliff. Goodbye. We don't want you around because you just caused trouble. But no, they stick around, and they're a little grumpy, but I would be grumpy in the 1800s. So I don't want to be there. The Last Orchard, and I'm not pronouncing that in the French version, though it's very pretty in the French version, but basically in the English, like if you translate it to English, it's Orchard. Their last name and their family name's Orchard. The Last Orchard is in the 1930s, you know, into the 1940s, and she was the most interesting because you couldn't say, oh, everyone's going to hang you if they find out that you're a witch. So you had to work around that. And I kind of wish it was just her and like her family and her kids, but you know. And now there were some people that said that the ending with her was too abrupt. I think it actually ended well. So I gave it 3 stars. Cunning Folk by Adam L.G. Neville. Okay, I was debating between 2 and 3 stars for 5 minutes. I couldn't decide, therefore I did not rate it because I'm not wasting my time. It's just a rating, who cares? So, not rated. I read this in a day. I was reading to see if it got better. It didn't. Okay, so the concept is great. And you know what's really annoying, y'all? I'm sick and tired of comps. I'm not listening to comps anymore. No, because I was promised The Watchers. This is not The Watchers. No, The Watchers, the Netflix series, and there's a couple books. No, I'm talking specifically the Netflix series. Fantastic. You should go watch it. No, it was not. And I'm not going to spoil it. And there was kind of hints a little bit, you could argue, in the blurb about, you know, magic and witches and stuff. But there's no such thing of that in The Watchers. Everyone was saying this is The Watchers. Okay, here we go. Oh, no, it's not. I'm at a certain point where I'm just tired of this one particular trope in horror, and it has to do with witches and witchcraft. I'm just done. And that's not because I know a lot of witches or Wiccans, and I used to be neo-pagan, though I think that might have like a little bit of something to do with it. It's like, it's the same thing. And Adam self-published it, and in the author's note, it said he wanted more control. Editor. This book could have been like 50 to 75 pages shorter. There was a lot of filler in there as well. And yeah, I totally forgot because I went on my rant. This fulfills the prompt about read a book with a black cover because it's mainly black, kind of gray, but it's mainly black. It's okay. You don't really have to do like 100% or even 90%. Now, the current book that I'm reading that fulfills the have orange in the title or orange in the cover is A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. And I'm going to most likely, unless the rest of the book sucks, which I mean, maybe it would suck, but I don't know. As of page 69, it's not sucking. Now, I read the introduction. It was interesting because basically what Anthony wrote, at least in this introduction, this is like a new edition with the 21st chapter involved. Controversy, drama, spill the tea, Anthony. He was like, so I don't like this book. And I'm like, damn. Right off the bat, I am interested. You don't like your own book? And he argued because it's so popular and he thinks that there are other better books of his, but they get ignored and this is all that anyone talks about and he's sick of it. Which, y'all, that's why, as a writer, or just like an artist, you need to love your works, you know? And you have favorites, right? That's totally fine, but like, if you don't love something and it happens to take off, yeah, people are gonna talk about that the most. And then some of your other books are just gonna just fall flat, whatever. Yeah, that's something that you have to come to the realization with Yeah, he doesn't like that though. He didn't. Sorry, he passed away a while ago. But I feel his presence here because, like, he's just spilling all the tea and his thoughts onto this page. And, like, okay. Now, besides that, he doesn't like this book, and he went to the grave not liking this book and its popularity. He also takes huge issue with the United States publisher who left out chapter 21, but everyone else in the world got chapter 21. So for a long time, anyone in the United States only got the first 20 chapters. Everyone else in the world got 21 chapters. And so there's that whole drama there. So I'm not gonna say what it is, though he basically does like a summary of the chapter 21 and how he thinks it works, because not everyone is 100% good and not everyone is 100% evil, and people can change and everything changes and everything is temporary. I understand that to a certain extent. We're going to cut that off between you and I, Anthony, when you have anyone, I don't care how old you are, you have anyone murdering, robbing, raping, beating up, kidnapping people. That's not a phase. That's something wrong with you. Hot take, apparently, because he is so optimistic. Like, to a fault, if he truly believes that like could be changed in someone. And I think it's interesting that he is showing Alex and his droogs and a lot of the other criminals just running around in this dystopian world as doing really horrible shit. And that's the contrast of, oh, it's just the young people. What are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do? This is way different than, like, stealing candy bars from the grocery store or graffiti. We're at the point of rape, murder, kidnapping, robbery with weapons and, you know, stuck in people's faces, and then knifing them afterwards because it's just fun. Beyond that, Anthony, it's not the, oh, rascals and horrible criminals. Huh? Okay. Yep. I'm not gonna agree with you at all, but I think that's how the 21st chapter, I'm gonna argue, that's probably why the 21st chapter was removed, one of a few reasons, but because from what I've read, it doesn't particularly make sense. A little naive, unless in this dystopian world, they have the technology to completely change your whole brain. And that's what is going on in the last chapter. But if that's true, then why do you have still such a problem with rape, murder, kidnapping, robbery? Like, you should just bring in a bunch of the rascals going on in this area, deprogramming them. So, okay, maybe I found a plot hole. I'm not done with the book yet. Maybe it's not a plot hole. Maybe it's just a weak argument. I don't know. Afterwards, I'm going to watch the movie. My husband hasn't read the book, but he's watched the movie. He liked the movie. And I was seeing clips on YouTube, and I was excited. And then in the beginning, I remember, and I shared this before, Patrick was like, you might not like it because they make up words. And like, oh, okay. And like, we made up English, we made up Spanish, we made up Romanian. Okay, we get it. As in, there are just words that, where did that come from? No, I really love droog. I kind of want to use that as, like, you're my partner in crime, you're a drook. And so I think I have like a really weird memory, and I remember making up words in sentences. Don't ask me why, I was a child. And then when I was tutoring like really young kids, like the youngest was 4, usually it's like 4 to 5, so not that much of an age range when it comes to making up words or pronouncing words wrong, because they're still learning. I think it's really fun and funny and intriguing to figure out what the words mean in the context of the sentence. And so that's kind of why I'm liking A Clockwork Orange, because you kind of have to figure it out. And like I was talking to Patrick and I was like, what's malchicks mean? Like, is it malcontent chicks? Because it's being used towards women, young women that are like hanging out after dark, and that's where all the criminals are. So like they're not ladies, okay? But I was like, malcontent, Spanish, bad chicks, malcontent chicks, bad content chicks. Because why not? And I think that is the vibe. Also, though, Patrick did say there's a lot of just Russian words, and I was like, I know, because babushka, I'm not making up that word, babushka, I've heard that a lot growing up, said by kids that were Russian or, you know, 2nd or 3rd generation, and they were talking about their great-grandmother or even like their grandmother, or just like an old woman in general that they didn't like. And I think maybe Ukrainians said it as well, a little blurry, but like I've heard babushka before, and it's just a great word to say. Anthony spells it wrong, because I was like, that's not the spelling. So then I Googled it, and yeah, I was right. I only know English, but barely in a lot of cases. But I was like, okay, babushka, that's not how that's actually spelled in real life. I'm gonna look this up. And I was right, finally. So I am most likely going to do a book review on this. I can tell, because it's a classic, I probably won't rate it a star rating, because I just don't do that for classics, because like they're kind of their own entity in their own little world. But I'm excited. I'm not enjoying it, but I'm very intrigued. Like there's a difference between, oh, I'm so excited to sit down and get lost in a world that's very enjoyable, versus I just need to know how this pans out, because I'm number 2. So I'm excited for that. And I could just message you both, but shout out to Nim and Bad. All 3 of us have Halloween party, and that fulfills the prompt of read a book about Halloween or set during the month of October. When do you all want to buddy read Halloween party? Because that's the shortest book that I have left, and then I have kind of thicker books. So I kind of want to get through Halloween party also, because it's Agatha Christie, and even though her writing is pretty simple, it's not in a way, because when was that published? I'm looking over there because my shelf is over there. Sorry. I don't remember. I mean, like 40s, 30s, something. We have that type of dated speaking going on. So it's not like a fast read. It's short, but it's not quick. So Bad and Nim, let me know. Cujo matches up with the Messed Up Book Club, not in any way connected to the Readathon, but we're assigned to start reading Cujo on the 11th. Oh yes, I forgot to say, Cunning Folk was book 1 for the Messed Up Book Club, and that's why I read it second, because it matched up, because we started it October 1st, and then I read it in a day. If for some reason, I mean, there's just so many possibilities, y'all. If for some reason I finish all 8 books, or I get through some of them, and then maybe DNF 1 or 2, I don't see that happening, but never say never, then I do have The Ring, and that's Messed Up Book Club book number 3, and that's like the last week of October. So you might or might not see that book, and I'll mention it if I like it. I don't know. There's just a lot going on. I didn't think that I had to rewrite the second half of my 3rd book, Midnight Murders in the Midnight Detective Agency, but I did. So here I am. I'm living it up one day at a time. Thank you so much for watching my week 1 wrap up for the Spooky Scary Skeleton Halloween Readathon. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.